what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going over what it takes to put your house up on Airbnb. This is everything from setting it up, selling everything, all the way up to registration, which actually comes at the end. So stick around for that. Everybody's tiny house journey and Airbnb journey is going to be different. I'm just going to be sharing my experience with my tiny house. But if you guys have a tiny house, a room in your house that you're renting out, a camper, this can apply to anything. So let's get to the video. All right, starting with number one. The first thing you're going to want to do is join a bunch of Airbnb host groups on Facebook. Now, the reason you want to do this is because you are going to a team of people who have already done this. They have experience in doing this. They've got houses, multiple houses up on Airbnb, and they have gone through all the stuff that it takes to set it up, everything that happens in between, and problems that come along. So this is a great resource for you to go to these groups, learn about what you need to do, learn about other people's experiences, and then start your journey into putting your house on Airbnb. Now, that said, a lot of people's Airbnb experience is also different. So even when you are in the group, you're not going to get exactly what you want in information. Some people may be Airbnb-ing a room in their house, where others may be Airbnb-ing a whole house. So a lot of different things can come into play when you're in these groups. Just remember to weigh the pros and cons and listen to all sides of the story, because you're going to be thrown opinions left and right, and you're not going to know which ones to take. That's why I say read all of them. Get as much knowledge as you can in these groups, because they are quite helpful. I am going to be linking some of these groups in the description below so that you can go straight there if you are interested in doing this with your place. Okay, number two, you are going to want to remove all of your personal belongings from the space that you are renting. Now, in my case, I lived in my tiny house, so that was basically everything. So I removed everything that was valuable to me and left a couple decorations up for the Airbnb. Now, if you are renting out a space where you live somewhere else, then maybe that space is only designated for the rental Airbnb stuff, so none of your personal stuff would be in there. But if you are renting out even a space in your own home, you're going to want to take all your personal belongings out of that home so you can let the renter make it their own. Okay, number three, you want to make sure that everything is fixed or replaced or repaired in your space before you rent it out. So now in my case, this included, I needed to repair the farmhouse sink that had a bunch of cracks in it. I replaced all of the shears because those had stains on it. I got rid of my office, brought it into this mobile home, and I had to buy a couch so that guests had somewhere to sit. I restained all of the counters, replacing light bulbs that need to be fixed, any door locks that need to be changed. I even had the shower head and the nozzle replaced because there was a crack in one of them or both of them, so I called the handyman so that he could come over and fix those. I replaced my compost toilet with a regular flush toilet. So these are things that you want to do to make sure that your house or your space is rentable before you put it on Airbnb or VRBO. The last thing you want is for your guests to complain about something that's broken, and you don't want to be spending that money and refunding that money to them because something broke in your house while they were staying. Number four, about this time, you're also going to want to start stocking your house for the Airbnb. Now, this includes things like a coffee station, the toiletries that you're going to provide for them, linens, any kind of condiments in the refrigerator, teas, any snacks, your welcome basket, a welcome book, toiletries such as paper towels, toilet paper. I even put feminine products in the cabinet for the women, so you might want to stock up on some of those. Some people have more extravagant coffee stations than others. Some people provide a big slew of snacks and charcuterie boards, and I have a little welcome basket with some farm fresh eggs, 4 little snacks, 2 waters, and a sample from my herbal business. So it's not much, but it is a little welcome gift for them, and you're going to want to do that because it's kind of customary to do in the Airbnb world, is to give this little welcome basket. So include that in your stocking up for supplies. Number 5, now is time to clean the space that you're going to be renting out. In my case, it was the tiny house, so I cleaned the whole tiny house. This included windows, floors, walls, doors, cabinets, drawers. It's living in that house, so I wanted to make sure the house was cat hair free. Make sure all of the dishes are cleaned, clean the toilet, the shower, the sinks, the counters, and everything in the space that you're going to be renting. Now, after you have cleaned the tiny house or the space that you're going to be renting, number 6 is you want to set it up for an Airbnb. Now, this includes all of the toiletries that you just bought and stocked up for. Take a few of those, put them on the counter, and make sure you set it up for however many guests are going to stay. Mine is a 2 maximum per night, so I set it up for 2 people. Now, this includes 4 towels, 4 hand towels, 4 washcloths, 2 of each of shampoo, conditioner, body soap, bar soap, and lotion. This also includes the coffee station. So you're going to want to put out the types of coffee that you have for them. Not all Airbnbs are going to be the same. Personally, I have a 5-cup coffee maker. So I leave out a pouch that makes 2 pots of coffee, and I have a couple instant coffee pouches next to it. I also have some tea in the cabinet, and I leave about 7 different sugars and 3 or 4 different creamers so that they have a variety and options. In the cabinet, I also put a couple things like cooking oils, sugar, salt, pepper, lemon, honey for like the tea. So there's a couple things that I leave in the cabinets for the convenience of them, and this will all be replaced as the guests use it. I also leave out a fresh roll of paper towels as well as some aluminum foil, baggies, and wax paper saran wrap in the cabinet so that they can use it for their cooking needs. All right, now number 7. Your house is cleaned, everything is set up for the guests. You're going to want to find at least 1 to 3 of your friends or family to rent the tiny house first. You don't have it up on Airbnb yet, but you're going to want to let them know that they'll be the first ones to stay. The reason for this is because you're going to want to get at least a 5-star review so that you can start your process of showing other people that your tiny house or your space that you're going to be renting is trusted, it's comfortable, and people are going to want to stay there. So I had a friend stay for my first visit, and after I listed it on Airbnb, they went on there and set up a listing, and they did it all the legit way. When they got here, I refunded them their money as a thank you for doing this for me, and they ended up leaving me a 5-star review. I did not have another 2 people do it because from that one 5-star review, I was able to get, I'm on like 105 stays right now, possibly even more by the time this video is out there. All it took was that one 5-star review. So thank you, Liz, if you're watching this. Thank you for that 5-star review. It really helped set forth things in the future for myself and my Airbnb. And this could happen for you guys too. Make sure you do this step because it is important to get that first stay in there. Number 8, you are going to want to get feedback from the people that stay in your tiny house the first time. So if you have 1 guest, 2 guests, or 3 guests, and they're leaving you that 5-star review, ask them what you could do to make your Airbnb better before more people start coming in. I got a bunch of feedback from that first person, my friend who stayed, and she told me things that I could change, and I actually did what she told me to do and took out some things that might have been weird for some guests. So I took those things out, and the Airbnb has been a success ever since. Number 9, now it is time to list your listing on Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, wherever you guys choose to put your listing, but I chose Airbnb and VRBO. They have been the most successful for me since listing them. Airbnb more so than VRBO. I've had about 95 guests on Airbnb and about 10 guests on VRBO. Now's the time you're going to want to list your listing. Before you list your listing, go on Airbnb and VRBO and make an account. Listing your listing also includes getting professional pictures done. To put your Airbnb up and make it attractive for people to want to come here, you want professional pictures. I'm going to be linking a person's name in the comments below. If you are in the Tennessee area, please give her a call because she did a phenomenal job on my pictures. When you get these pictures done, you post them on Airbnb and VRBO, and they are so professionally done that they draw more people in, as opposed to the first time that I had listed my Airbnb, they were my own pictures, and I wondered why I wasn't getting any listings. I went into the Airbnb group, the hosting group, and asked a bunch of them, what am I doing wrong? And I listed my pictures. The number one thing they said was get professional pictures. So that's why number one, joining these groups and getting the information from them was very helpful and beneficial, and it will be for you guys too. Do go ahead and get the professional pictures. List your listing on Airbnb and VRBO. List all the amenities that you have and everything that you're willing to provide, offer, write your description out, and everything will be set from there. Number 10, this is the thing that most people think that should be done in the beginning of the process, but I found it to be the very last thing that I needed to do. This is registration. Registering your business to be an Airbnb. In my state of Tennessee, when you look up the rules and regulations of what you're supposed to do, here you have to make at least $10,000 in order to apply for a business registration. To register for a business license. That is what I did. I hit $10,192 after 9 months. I applied for a business license and a registration. The state of Tennessee sent me back some paperwork, and I'm going to be filling some stuff out. You send it back to them, send them some fees, and then you're all set. Now, this is going to be different in every state and in every county and in every city. Don't take my word of what you're going to have to do for registration or business license, or even what taxes you're going to have to pay for your business. Each property is different, each city is different, each zone is different, and I just followed the rules that were in Tennessee for my county, for my city, and it just for this area. Again, do your research, look up, I believe it is short-term rental in your state, whatever state you are, short-term rental rules and regulations, and then a pamphlet or a form will show up and it'll tell you all you need to do. Things you need to apply, numbers you need to call, fees you need to pay, taxes you need to pay. That was getting your house prepped and ready for being an Airbnb. There is a lot that goes into it, but if you plan and prep and prepare for all of this, it can get easier as the time goes on. My listing, again, has been up on Airbnb and VRBO for about 9 months now. I've had about 105 to 110 guests right now so far, and this is probably by the time this video has aired, I'm like on 100 right now, 105. That was pretty easy, but that was because I'm renting out a 224 square foot tiny house as my rental. Some are going to be easier, some are going to be harder. Those who are renting out a whole house with 6 to 10 rooms, they're going to have a lot more laundry to clean. They're going to have a lot more supplies to buy and people to provide for. So it all depends on your setup, on how you create your space, your rental space. And these are just tips from my experiences renting out a tiny house. So if you guys are in the market to put your tiny house on Airbnb or your space on Airbnb and VRBO, take some of these tips and make it a successful one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and click the notifications bell so you could receive a notification every time I post a new video, which is every Sunday. Thanks guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Groups in the comments, don't put that. Valuable of yours, take all of, don't put that. Anything that can be damaged, don't put that. Break in there, say, don't put that. Fixed, replacing, such as, don't put that. Basically just set it up to be an Airbnb for your guests to, Charlie, hold on, let me do this. Pumpkins. And make sure that you set it up for however many. They also have my coffees to number 6, set it up for So that was pretty easy, right? I would say that no, getting your space ready and rented, don't put any of this. So just, whew,